Greg, I've got your draft up right here. Let me just go ahead and read through this real quick. At this point, I simply need to add more detail to the floor. I agree. I agree with that. I'll talk about that in a second. Also, I think I look at could benefit from a few rays shining through. Be careful with that. I mean, try it. Definitely try it. I mean, that's the way we learn. So definitely try to depict the rays of water or somehow the water, the sunlight as it affects, it's being affected by the water. Try it, see if you like it. It might be a little too much. So let me know. Let me know what you think there. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the work. I've got the work up right here. So, and I'm glad I downloaded this JPEG. And the reason being is because we could see that there's this big white area over here. So somehow the JPEG picked up something. Check your artboard. If there's objects off your artboard, the JPEG will render that as part of the illustration. So that might be why we have these big white areas over here. So you definitely want, in your final presentation, you don't want that. You just want the poster, right? So check that, definitely. As far as the work goes, let's talk about typography first. I think this is a great choice for type. Good placement, too, and good configuration. The type itself, the configuration is neat because typographically and visually, it kind of leads the viewer right down here to the illustration of the jellyfish. And I think that's cool. It's a great typeface for the Caribbean Sea. It's just the fluidity of it. Just it's really a good choice. Nice job. Illustrative technique is really great. I love the transparencies here. You did a nice job here, and as you said, your first time, it's got a beautiful gradient, little highlight there for indicating the light source. Wonderful job. Technically, if this is indicating a light source, right, which means the light would be coming from above and to the right, right? But the bubbles themselves have a light source indicating that it's coming from above and left. What you might want to do is move that little light source, that little highlight right there to the right side there, just to reinforce and to be consistent with the light source on the jellyfish. There's a couple of things we can do to reinforce the depth associated with the piece. And I think one of the most important things to do, and first of all, I agree. More of stuff like this on the bottom, I think it's going to add shells and coral and foliage, plant life, etc. And really get that to be interesting using texture and overlapping techniques. And then little mountains in the background, they're blue, and that kind of diminishes the contrast associated with that portion of the work. So my recommendation is to reinforce that these are actually underground mountains, or I'm sorry, underwater mountains. Underground mountains, that doesn't make sense. Underwater mountains, by creating these in some sort of a value of the brown that you're using for the bottom, right? Instead of blue, transpose these to some sort of brown or tan. And I think that'll add a wonderful degree of contrast. Love the subtle gradient in the background. It's really nice work, really. You've been paying attention, and some of the techniques you're using are fantastic. The jellyfish look great. Nice job. All right, so those are my recommendations, and I think it's a fantastic start. But at this point, of course, if you have any questions at all, or if I can provide any clarification, Greg, please let me know. I'll be glad to do so immediately. But let's go ahead and address some of those issues for Sunday's submission. And again, really super important. Let me know if you have any questions at all. All right, great job, Greg. Thank you.